Hotel 112 HART call signs.
They are Britain's toughest medics.
CPR in progress.
Stand clear. Checking now.
We will be the people that are going in the direction of where something went bang when other people are going in the opposite direction.
He is armed at the moment with a knife.
The UK's Hazardous Area Response Teams, HART for short, are trained to tackle the most critical cases in the most dangerous places.
I'm going to try and tunnel the way through to you. Everywhere collapsed around me.
No worries, mate.
Could be someone in water, at height, underground, overcome by gas. Whatever it is, our team are there to access them and treat them in those environments.
Created after the 7/7 London bombings, they're in the front line when terrorists strike.
We're here for the big day when everybody's nightmares come true.
It's been confirmed that it is a nail bomb.
Specialists selected,
Have you seen how high up it is?
It's fallen from around 20 foot.
highly trained,
She's currently trapped in the car by her legs.
There's massive intrusion into his cab.
never filmed before.
Shotgun injuries to his leg.
Go on, you have to blast me.
These are some of the world's most elite paramedics.
We have got specialist kit, we have got specialist vehicles. People coming in from other agencies, and I think it's like a scene out of Thunderbirds.
Hold it.
OK, we need them on a board in a minute, on a collar.
Everyday heroes risking their lives to save others.
This is going to be a major incident.
When violent criminals strike on the streets of Yorkshire, the HART team are in the firing line and they are dressed to survive.
Got an armoured plate to the front and an armoured plate to the back that will, I believe, take a 9mm round. A good base of kit.
HART medics are on standby every time armed police carry out a pre-planned operation. And they're usually the first ambulance staff to be sent to care for victims of violent crime before police have confirmed a crime scene is safe.
Somebody gets hit with any type of weapon, whether it be a small 9mm calibre hand weapon or a decent size powerful weapon, they have to be extremely quick at triage and treatment.
And that medical skill is about to be put into action. 3 HART units are being scrambled to a drive-by shooting. A 24-year-old man has been badly injured by a shotgun blast. Team leader Rescures will be approaching with caution.
This shooting we're going to, can you confirm police are on scene, and if so, are we going straight to scene?
Victims of drive-by shootings are often specifically targeted with lethal intent. If the person behind the crime is still on the loose, medics helping the patient could also be attacked.
Hotel 1.
All call signs. Police are not on scene. I say again, police are not on scene.
With no police backup, it's just too dangerous to enter the area.
We're going to go to the gates of the crematorium in Shrewsbury. I'll get a postcode as soon as I can.
But firearms officers travelling at speed in an unmarked car have caught them up. The HART team will now be able to go straight to the patient without delay.
Confirm now, police are on scene. It's safe to attend.
Go direct to scene, over.
It's a race against time. Gunshot victims can bleed to death in minutes.
Right, when you get right to Bobby Road, you want to go left. Helicopter? First right, choppers up. Got till 6 on scene.
The shooting has happened in a quiet residential street in broad daylight.
Shotgun spray.
Drive by, looks like shot blast. You can see on his back.
Just have a look at your back, buddy.
Yeah, just leave your arm down, mate. That's fine.
Any one of the 20 pellets sprayed into the man's back could now be causing serious internal bleeding from a major organ.
I mean, he's got potential for a few of them to have caused some underlying stuff.
Round his side as well, isn't it? Sorry, buddy.
Excuse me. Mind your backs, please.
Crowds are gathering.
Guys, we just moved back.
Family and onlookers shocked by the events are now making it more difficult to treat the man.
Just get in there, my love. Can I just get in there? There you are. Thank you.
He's saying he's in clean, he wants some water.
All right, mate. All right, we'll sort that out. All right, mate. You can have some water in a bit, okay? So what we'll do is, we'll have a look at you. There's a doctor here now as well. And then as soon as we can, we'll get you away from all this noise and stuff, all right?
I'm not police, I want it outside the cordon!
Normally fit them well, mate. Yeah, just make some fists open and close, mate. Can you do that? You can't do that?
His wife is by his side. He's in a bad way. It looks like he may have some nerve damage.
Okay, we'll leave that side. Yeah, and this, we got some shot in there. Yeah, just leave your arm down, mate. That's fine.
Are you giving him that TXA? Are you going to give him that on board?
The patient is being given a drug to stem internal bleeding.
Just going to pop this needle in your arm, buddy, okay?
Everybody is on edge.
People are after him. Who's to say they're not going to have another pop? Do we know where the guy with gun's gone?
The perpetrator is still at large. Armed police are on high alert.
Just careful on his arm.
Because of the severity of the victim's injuries and the potential danger for those at the scene, it's decided to airlift him as quickly as possible.
BJ, I want to know when it's airborne.
You just want to step back a little, sir. Yeah.
On three, yep. 1, 2, 3.
Are we happy there? Do you want to do it first?
It's a 5-minute journey by air to Leeds General Infirmary.
Your brother? Yeah, brother.
Thank you for your help.
The wounds are close to his liver, spleen and spinal cord. It will be an anxious wait for the man's family until scans reveal how much damage has been caused. Surgeons and an operating theatre are on standby. Police have launched a hunt for the person behind the shooting. At HART headquarters, the team regularly train to treat the victims of house fires in their own suburban semi. The practice firehouse can be turned into a real death trap with artificial smoke, heat and unconscious casualties weighing 15 stone.
Yeah, training team to Hotel 1. We're on the first floor of this building. We've entered with the fire service.
But now fire crews heading to a real blaze in Leeds have called Charlie team to back them up.
Hotel 1, job fault, hat call signs.
Armley. For fire.
A former bingo hall is alight.
Derelict building. Persons reported. People known to live rough in there.
10-6 to Hotel 1.
10 fire appliances are already on scene, so because it's such a large fire, there's potential for a lot of casualties.
The building is filled with smoke and flames are shooting through the roof. Team leader Tim needs to get up to speed quickly.
How you doing?
Right, mate, how are you?
Yeah, what's current?
Apparently, there's some lads working on it this morning, and an hour later,
Right.
shut up shop and it went up in smoke.
Okay.
If someone is trapped inside, they may have minutes to live. Firefighters are searching the building in zero visibility. If a casualty is found, the HART team must put on BAs, breathing apparatus sets, and join them.
Speaking of their incident commander, the treatment person's reported because there's been known that squatters are in.
Right.
So at the minute, until they can confirm otherwise, it's still person's reported. So we're said to stand by and just wait.
But the situation is about to get much more serious.
Just come out to smoke. Hazmat's turned up.
Yeah.
There is asbestos in fabricate building. Probably going to put a cordon up this side. Anybody working in smoke, they're looking at BA. Okay. So we need to, far lot are in smoke, we really need to, we're looking at getting up top, aren't we?
Okay.
The team is upwind of the blaze.
Yeah, all call signs, Hotel 1. If you could redeploy to Beach Avenue. This is due to the wind direction and asbestos in the fibre of the building.
It's the HART team's job to protect the health of the people living nearby.
So what they're going to do, they're going to get police to come down here and get everybody to shut the windows. I'm going to go make a phone call to Public Health England, give them an heads up.
It's vital hospital doctors are aware of the incident in case people with respiratory problems from the area go to A&E. Asbestos can cause cancer, and it's killed millions worldwide.
Asbestos is a very dangerous substance. Once you start ingesting it, there is no real recovery from it. It starts attacking your internal organs, so very dangerous.
Firefighters are working quickly to put out the flames. It's the best way to stop asbestos particles being released.
Public Health England have contacted them, everything, put everything into place. Where plumes go in, I've said it's heading towards city centre. She's going to get in touch with hospitals and stuff.
Right, okay, mate.
Right. It's a sensitive issue locally.
I think if you look back quite a few years ago, I think it used to have a factory that used to produce asbestos. There's a lot of people now that's suffering with the illnesses years after. So what we don't want is people taking in a good lung full of asbestos that may be out at the moment.
But the fire crews are winning the battle, and the risk to the public is beginning to be reduced.
Hey, that's all right. Yeah, good. Pretty much out, I think, from our point of view. Okay. So all we're going to do is going to reposition these, put them back up, just knock some holes in this roof, just to confirm, because there's kind of a false void, just to make sure that it's not in there.
Dangerous substances expert Tim is going into the building to assess the risk to the public. But the roof is beginning to cave in under the weight of water.
Right, we'll go any further, because obviously there's water coming in from above. So probably this is as far as we'd want to go, really. But if you look up there, you can start to see we've got one false ceiling, we've got a second false ceiling, and then the ceiling. So that's what's causing the problem. So we've just got to make sure that there's no fire spread beyond that false ceiling. Right, shall we... It's time to go.
Part of the HART team's job is to back up firefighters at hazardous incidents, to treat any victims and stand by for any accidents involving the brigade.
So they are aware of the dangers of working in heat and smoke, and that allows us to let them get closer to a building than we would normally allow normal paramedics, because they're aware of the risks that they may face.
As long as firefighters are in the danger zone, HART will remain unseen. The threat is far from over. Half of the UK's best-selling cars are small hatchbacks. Economical, easy to park, and simple to drive. But the shrinking car is a growing problem for the HART team.
RTC person's trapped by her legs.
Paramedic Gemma is driving today.
I think it's Barnsley in 75.
It's 15 minutes for the nearest resource getting us there.
20 minutes, that's not bad.
Tango team are heading south down the M1. They're bringing their specialist medical skills to help local paramedics treating a young driver. An ambulance service doctor has already examined the woman, trapped in her tiny Ford car.
I'm on scene at this incident at Cawthorne. Yeah, it's one patient still trapped in the vehicle. Quite significant damage to the vehicle. Kind of queer pelvis and lower legs. Can't actually see legs at the moment. So if you guys want to just keep running for now, please, Evan.
Yeah, Roger, that's all received. I believe, looking at the traffic, we're coming up behind you now, so I should be with you shortly.
The actual moment where they have that accident must be absolutely terrifying. I can't even begin to think what it must be like. They're kind of going about their daily life and suddenly they have this massive accident. Bangs and crashes going on, there's glass probably shattering, airbags going off and the smoke coming off from that. And I would have thought that they're probably really, really scared.
1020 is now on scene.
The twisted metal of Chelsea Warner's car is wrapped around her knees and ankles. She's in severe pain. The big fear is that her fractured legs are bleeding, unseen, into the footwell.
It appears to be more side impact. It's quite a lot of damage to her side. She's quite well trapped. Pain, right arm, kind of lower back, pelvic area, right, and right leg. I can't really see her leg. I'll get some kettle.
All right, no worries.
You need to bring it to me. Lewis. 1018 on scene.
From what I can gather, coming along this road, pulled out from the junction and has literally been hit by another car directly into the side. She's currently trapped in the car by her legs. There's a lot of impact into the side of the car. At the moment, the ambulance crews that were on scene before us are currently assessing her. But it's going to be a long extrication to get her out safely.
We've been asked to draw up ketamine, so while the patient's still lucid, conscious, they're aware of the surroundings around them, but it actually takes them away from actually what's happening slightly, enables us to be able to deal with the patient then in terms of extrication and injuries, and just takes away that sort of pain barrier really that always causes the emergency services lots of sort of problems in being able to manage the patients.
Gemma, just pass us the collar, let's get her collared.
Firefighters often have less room to use cutting gear in smaller cars. And they present problems for medics too. Fearing a neck injury, Tony wants to support Chelsea's head, a job only Gemma can do.
We're just looking at what we can do with chairs just now. But just thinking because you're the smallest one here, I might need you in at the back just to do the C-spine, all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, what have we got so far, sorry?
So, I haven't managed to feel a stomach yet. I can't see where all of the pedals are. I can only see one, which is the clutch. I can only see that's away from my foot. Right. But the dashboard is right down onto the shin. Right, Chelsea,
I think she has
just going to pop something else into this now.
How are we doing, Chelsea? How are you feeling? You're okay. This medication that we've just given you might make you feel a little bit strange, okay? So just kind of go with it, just accept it. And it'll mean that we can just get you out and you'll be more comfortable, all right?
This is a severe entrapment, but Chelsea will remember little of it.
Is anything hurting now, Chelsea, as you sat there? Your leg, okay.
So the fire service usually put a plan A or plan B in place. Plan B meaning a more hurried sort of extrication. Plan A meaning more the patient stabilised and we're able to do a textbook extrication there. At this moment in time, we're going down the plan A route. There's a bit of haste there, but it's all well controlled.
Chelsea, we're just going to start to move this door next to you, okay? We've got hold of you so you can't go anywhere because you're leaning on it a little bit, aren't you? Okay. Just tell us if anything hurts, though. We've got hold of it.
They're starting to cut around her legs.
Yeah, good one. Got it.
How's that pain, Chelsea? Has someone asked you to score it between 1 and 10?
Yeah.
What number did you give it earlier?
Give me a 10.
You gave me a 10, so what number is it now?
7.
A 7, so it's gone down a little bit. That's good then. She says the pain's 7.
It's a good sign, but one wrong move could worsen their patient's injuries.
That's a lot of movement, wasn't it?
And lead to catastrophic bleeding.
Was that any different, Chelsea?
Yes, there is.
It was? What's it? Does it hurt more or less? It hurts more.
It is.
Just be steady, because she said that's different on her legs.
This is going to be noisy, Chelsea.
The cutters are centimetres from her legs.
Where does that hurt, Chelsea? Where? Don't know if it'd be worth another 10. Yeah.
One of the ambulance team attempts to examine Chelsea's legs and feet.
What's that that's hurting? Where he's touching? Yeah. We're just giving that pain relief now, Chelsea, so it should calm it down again. Nice and calm. You're doing really, really well. I think that'll keep her nice and steady, won't it? It's just her pain definitely increased then when he was having a feel.
I managed to get his hands on the feet.
Definitely right one. Looks like two of the same god, ankle fracture dislocation, and it's off at left. He feels like it's the same, but it can't be as clear on the left. So basically,
don't know about its neurovascular status or anything like that.
It's becoming clear Chelsea's injuries are very serious. As well as a fractured leg, it looks like she's broken her pelvis and her arm.
All quiet. Chelsea, if you start to feel any pain, let me know, okay? It was steady as I can.
You just shout.
The concerned blood may not be reaching her foot. If the flow isn't restored, she may lose her leg. The HART medics are in the front line of the NHS's response to any chemical incident.
Right, patient's still asystolic. I've got MIO on the phone now.
From terrorist attacks to factory explosions.
MIO saying cease resuscitation, guys, cease resuscitation.
Usually, when we're dealing with a chemical incident, the information we get in the first instance is really quite sketchy, so we have to be open-minded in how we approach the detail.
In Bradford, a man has been attacked with fluid.
He doesn't know who sprayed him or what he has been sprayed with, but he is having difficulty breathing and is not alert.
999 activated.
Just heading over to Bradford, we've got details for a 40-year-old male apparently sprayed in the face with an unknown substance, so it's whether it's anything chemical. But that's the only details we've got at the moment.
It's a new thing, isn't it?
Acid attacks are increasingly common and often life-changing.
There has been a lot of media coverage around acid attacks. If you look at the injuries, people have become disfigured, scarring, facial scarring, loss of eyesight, all pretty gruesome injuries that someone then has to learn to live with.
It's vital to identify the substance.
So he's got some white powder on his back. If we could do like a dry decon on him, so we're not 100% what it is.
Police are taking the attack very seriously. The first ambulance crew on scene have already started decontamination procedures.
It's on his face, his ear. He's been sick.
There is a strict protocol for chemical incidents.
At the moment, we're just making sure that the patient's stripped off. We can't identify this powder at this stage, so we're not sure exactly what we're dealing with. So what we're doing is we're just taking his clothing off. All his clothing will be bagged, and the police will be keeping that for evidence.
We'll double bag it and then... Yeah, absolutely.
But it's becoming clear any danger to the public or the team is low.
There is always that risk to us, but we've got to use a bit of common sense. At the moment, this person's only been sick. There's no blistering or burning or any breathing issues at all at this stage with this patient. So with that in mind, we're quite confident that we're able to manage this patient as in the close proximity that we're dealing with.
The victim's account of the attack is vague.
He's given a couple of stories, to be honest, the patient. But they're thinking that he's been sleeping in a house, a block of flats. He's a rough sleeper, and to get rid of him, they've sprayed him.
Initially, we have to be quite conservative in our approach. Yes, we've got lots of protective equipment we can use to protect us from chemicals, but if we turn up in some of our gas-tight suits in the public arena, it could cause people to panic, and obviously we don't want that, so we try to do things in a stepwise approach and use equipment that is appropriate to that particular situation.
The man's going to be taken to hospital as a precaution. There's a theory the chemical could have come from a fire extinguisher. The team's heading back to base. But they all know next time it could be far more serious. Head for height is part of the job spec for HART paramedics, and for some, testing it is how they spend their spare time.
I love climbing. It's one of my main sports that I'm mountain biking. I absolutely love. I'll climb kind of a couple of times a week, indoor and outdoor, depending on the season and how cold it is and whether I dare go outside. But climbing's kind of a big part of me and I love it. And luckily, it kind of ties really well into my job as a HART paramedic because we're trained to work at height. Straight away, I'm not scared of heights, so that's brilliant, but it also gives me a bit of extra knowledge with all the rope work and the equipment that we use with the safe working at height, so it ties in fantastically for me.
Every few months, each member of the HART team refreshes their skills on the rock face.
There's quite a few things involved in it. It's quite a bit of equipment you need to keep familiar with, so yeah, repetition is important.
For the purpose of this exercise, a dummy patient is being used. But HART medics often need to give medical treatment for real, up tower cranes, scaffolding towers or cliff faces.
Is that all right, Tim?
Yeah, mate, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Nice and steady.
Teamwork in a dangerous environment like this saves lives.
We're setting up systems, rope systems, and we have to rely on each other, to make sure that it's safe. Trust is a very important element of what we do.
Today, John is leading Charlie team to an emergency in Sheffield. A heroin user has fallen off a 25-foot cliff.
In inner city areas, there's always going to be drug-related issues. There's been an increase in the use of fentanyl being cut in with heroin, which has a much stronger effect as well. So getting to those people as soon as possible is very important.
South Yorkshire has one of the highest rates of drug use in the country. And here in Sheffield, 2 people die every week from a drugs overdose. First reports suggest the man at the bottom of the cliff is alive, but not in great shape.
So, it's a IVDU. Yeah. There's a little escarpment down there, so I think he had quite a lot of heroin, fallen over backwards. Yeah. About 10-foot vertical, and then about 45 degrees, another 10 foot.
The area of wasteland is a popular haunt for drug users. It's heavily overgrown. HART will need to work closely with firefighters to lift the patient up the cliff.
They are going to set a rope system, which we're going to link into. So if you two can get Swaggy on, is that all right? Yeah. I'm going to get Scotty and Deep up with the med kit.
I grabbed onto this.
Sarah and Johnny need to get to the patient.
Just give us your hand. Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
They will be in charge of treating and packaging the man, ready for the lift.
If you need out, obviously shout up.
Cheers, guys.
Our guys have gone down to some rough terrain. There'll be an assessment from our guys down there whether or not they need a barrow boy, as in like an escort medically on the way up.
The whole area is littered with drug paraphernalia. The risk of being contaminated by a discarded needle is high.
There are sharps,
Yeah, so did you get that about the stick them in the tree and break them off? Absolutely rammed, isn't it, stuff?
Johnny and Sarah, along with local ambulance staff, have managed to reach the man.
You put your hands on your waist for me.
He's had an immediate life-saving injection of Narcan, which reverses the effects of heroin. He's now awake. 2 minutes ago, he was close to dying.
He was breathing about 6 to 8, he was blue.
Right.
And not making any response, but I think that was more down to the heroin rather than the fall or anything.
Okay.
As firefighters start assembling the tripod lifting apparatus, 25 feet below, the HART team are about to secure the man in a body splint stretcher, called a MIBS.
I think it's going to be easy to move him and try and get out onto that surface.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
Have you got any pain in your legs?
Can you straighten this knee out for me?
I know, we're going to lift you up now, darling.
Despite the height of his fall, he seems relatively uninjured, but it's possible the drugs could be masking pain. Either way, he's in no fit state to walk.
Hang on.
We're going.
We're off.
Quicker the better.
That's it.
Right. Want to check what's around?
I'll have a look. I'll have a look for you.
Lay back down for us.
Lost everything. All right.
I need you to lay down for me.
I've just got bits in it.
All right.
I don't want it to pay the rent. Stick my wallet on there.
It looks that way, unfortunately. When you succumb to the effects of things like heroin, you're not in an aware state, so you're more likely to be a victim of crime yourself. The amount of times we go to heroin addicts who we have to treat, and when we brought them round, the amount of times that they've been robbed is more often than not.
You really hurt.
Straighten your legs for me, darling.
That's it. I just want to know how much money I've got left. Cause
I know. But once we get you out of here, we can sort that.
At the top of the cliff, the rescue tripod is ready to go.
All in! All in!
The pulley system can take a load of over 600 pounds, nearly 4 times the weight of the injured man.
Reset! All in! All in!
It means the patient can be swung to safety as he approaches the top of the cliff.
Back over there. Lighting on the red, take the blue off.
I suggest we just unwrap him, scoop him off. Yeah, after that.
All right, you're done.
He can now be carried to an ambulance.
Yeah, we've got 2 here that can help carry him across.
And it seems whoever is suspected of robbing him didn't find his phone.
Just direct him where you're going. Deep. You all right, James?
Yeah.
Good man.
You're running off my carabiner, mister. Don't understand why I'm kind of like...
You know they're sort of stuck in this cycle. The support networks out there are very limited. You're looking at a group of people who are not particularly good at sort of dealing with their own problems. It's quite emotive when you think about someone's social background, the things they've had to contend with in life, and to come to that point that you're living a life like that, you know, it's very, very sad.
I can't go back to that hostel perfectly knowing that I've got no rent to pay.
Well, we can think about that later, can't we?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to be on the street. I just want to walk on and ignore that this is happening. No respect for myself.
Yeah.
The man will be taken to the Northern General Hospital. Scans may well reveal underlying injuries to add to his problems. On a country road in South Yorkshire, Tango team are fighting to free young driver Chelsea Warner from her wrecked hatchback.
Our main concern at the moment is with the impact that's happened on the vehicle, the dashboard has completely gone down onto our lower limbs, and gaining access to those lower limbs is pretty difficult at the moment. One of the road crews, the supervisors, has actually managed to get their hands in and have a feel, and it looks like both of her lower limbs have been fractured and they are pointing the other way, so her feet are literally pointing backwards, so they've done 180 degrees.
All right, Chelsea. Yeah, good lass. We're just moving this dashboard off your legs. That's all we're doing, all right. Let us know if it's different, Chelsea, OK?
You like this? Yeah. Right, let's go. Nice and steady.
It's a painstaking operation, made more complex by the size and age of her car. They're cutting metal that's next to her skin.
Delicate. It's very delicate, but it needs to be, because we need to make sure that we're not going to do her any further harm by getting her out. However, we're also planning to move very quickly should the worst happen. But hopefully with the level that we've got here, fire working with ambulance very well just now, and obviously we've got a doctor on scene, so we're hoping that we've got all our worst case scenarios covered.
Chelsea's family have arrived at the scene. Her father and sister and her partner can only watch and hope for the best.
That's if you push it back. That's it, and she's free.
Yeah, I got visual with a lorry strewn across the road. You probably can hear it now.
Finally, the firefighters have reached their patient's legs.
She's had no ketamine. Why are we ready to go? Right. I think it's happening. She's more or less free now. But what you're saying, the pathway of extrication there, her feet's gonna get trapped even more and get lodged a little bit. So it's going to increase more pain. So we're just going to chop her up again.
Chelsea was driving to work when the crash happened. She's a veterinary nurse.
Yeah, just open your eyes for us. Good lads. Have we got tourniquets and bandages ready?
Tourniquets and bandages are there. Feet released now, so yeah, everyone's just preparing now to extricate on the spinal board.
Ready, steady, move. Lift the feather up, feather up.
So we're going to scoop her off that anyway, aren't we?
Well done, Chelsea. Right, so we need to spin around so that the feet go down. We're going to go on, move. Ready, steady, move.
After more than an hour pinned in her seat, Chelsea can now have the full medical examination she desperately needs.
Expose her, that one. You're okay, Chelsea? Doing really good. Yeah.
All right, darling. All right.
Really, really concerned because from our observations inside the car itself, the footwell of the car itself, that looked to be obvious gross deformity there. We were unsure in terms of the neurovascular status of the limbs.
The race is on to take Chelsea to the major trauma centre at the Northern General Hospital. Her injuries are potentially life-changing and she may require emergency surgery. Inside HART headquarters, the team can call on an armoury of hardware to save lives in almost any situation.
We've got respirators. That's what we'd wear for protection from chemical, biological threats. We've got our safe working at height equipment. So essentially harnesses for working at height to access patients in difficult circumstances.
Every truck carries half a tonne of gear.
Dry suits, flotation vest, boots. So that's the kind of thing we would use in flood environments. So if someone's trapped in a house, they're unwell and we need to access them, that enables us to do that.
Yes!
Today, the team are training with their latest big boys toy.
A member of the public walking into our garage would think it was like a scene from Thunderbirds. It is different from every other ambulance garage.
It's unwelly. You're being paid to play around, but obviously the important side is that you're improving up skills.
Polaris is the UK's smallest ambulance. It can go anywhere.
It's just really important that we can access these areas that normal other vehicles find it difficult to get to, really.
And it's about to get its first mission.
Pass your message.
Yeah, Martin, can you guys just jump on the Polaris and head up for detail for us? You're going to come with us as well. We've got an extrication, potentially about half a mile.
On the outskirts of Leeds, a woman has fallen in a lakeside path.
Yeah, Roger, just to let you know, we're going to head towards this detail in Roundy Park. Could you allocate 082, 1022 and 1019 Polaris carrier to the detailer?
They're heading for Roundhay Park, almost 3 square kilometres of woodland, shrubbery and open grass.
We'll get Polaris through there.
Forward planning is essential. The injured woman is half a mile away.
If we take a mid-spinal insert, sleeping bag insert and grab some morphine. We've got a box splint there. She's just got a fractured ankle. She's in a lot of pain and refusing Entonox. We've got a parabag and a defib.
When it contacts, roll it forward, yeah? Correct, contact there, foot off the brake.
Paramedic Ian Dixon, flash to his mates, is deploying the Polaris. It will be used to ferry the patient back to the car park.
Come on, mate, straight back at that.
Meanwhile, Deep is heading out on foot to give the patient pain-killing drugs.
Outside of the Polaris at the moment. Yeah, what do you say? Once you're on your way up, just let us know and I'll talk to you then.
At the moment, we've just sent 4 of the HART staff up to have a look at the patient with the road crew that's here. They've taken some morphine up. Apparently, a lady's not happy to use Entonox, one of the analgesics we've got, so we're going to go give her some morphine to see if that helps.
The accident has happened on a 2-mile footpath around the lake. It's a big place. The Rolling Stones once played to 120,000 people here.
Safety point 1313, over.
Roger that, we're with the gentleman now.
A park keeper will lead the way. For the Polaris, this isn't the most serious case.
Fundamentally, it's for the bigger terrorist event, like a large train crash or something similar. But it's fairly frequent that either horse riders or mountain bike riders come off in the woods. And if you've got a mile to walk over difficult terrain, it's quite an easy option for us to take out.
Raisa Ali was out for a walk when she slipped. It looks like her ankle is broken.
It's the right day, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hiya.
How are you? I'm good, thank you. Inversion injury to the right ankle there.
Right.
We've had a little go with the gas and air, but she's not so fussed for it.
Right, okay.
How's cold, I think.
How's your pain now at the moment?
It's still hurting.
You're still hurting?
Local paramedics called for backup because they knew without pain relief, the journey back to their vehicle could leave their patient in agony.
We just get another BP and then I'll see if she wants to do some morphine or not. I know you said about your pain. We've got an option, we can give you some morphine. But when we do that, we'll have to give you via a cannula.
No, I don't want more.
Are you sure?
With some navigational help from the park keeper, Flash and the Polaris have reached Raisa.
What we'll do is, if one of you jumps on the back, we can relocate the ambulance to the park gate, or we can, just so we're not driving the Polaris down the road. That's all. What we'll do is we'll just pop in the front seat because it's going to be more comfortable for you. Okay.
You want to go back, so it's a little bit of a hop, all right? He's going to support your leg. We're holding you. You're not going to fall over. That's it. Keep coming. You've got the handle here on the door, all right? Okay.
Right. That's perfect.
There's a seat belt, so stick it on.
Deep's treating his colleagues to his reassuring sense of humour.
I don't know how you're going to get out if you end up in the river. You might have to just try and crawl out of that bit there. Don't be nervous.
Flash's driving skills are going to be tested, getting Raisa to the full-sized ambulance, and the Polaris doesn't float.
This might sound quite loud because it's going to destroy this bush.
Are you not scared of driving this so near the lake?
It's not bad. We also water train, so if we go in the water, we'll sort that out.
For patients and rescuers alike, it's an interesting journey.
It's going to go this way. There you go, well done.
At last, Raisa has reached a more conventional form of transport.
Good, got your good look up as well. The path got a lot narrower at some points than we thought, and we possibly have damaged the wing mirror coming around, but that's fine. Yeah, it was okay. I don't think the patient liked it. She was a bit. She screamed when we got next to the water. It was a little bit bouncy, but other than that, it was fine. It's a great bit of kit.
Polaris will head back to base for repairs, and Raisa is on her way to Leeds General Infirmary for X-rays. Tests reveal Raisa's ankle was sprained rather than broken, but she was unable to walk for 2 weeks. And with a slight limp, she's now back out walking. The man shot near his home in Dewsbury made a good recovery. Firefighters finally made the burning bingo hall safe, and tests later that day revealed asbestos levels in the atmosphere had returned to legal limits. Veterinary nurse Chelsea was lucky to survive a crash. She suffered a fractured pelvis, broke her leg, and needed surgery on her arm. But she didn't let that spoil the holiday she'd booked. And the heroin user who fell 25 foot down a cliff face in Sheffield has now received help to kick his addiction and says he's making a fresh start.